Anyways, hey guys, my name is Orb, and welcome to the beginning of my PAX Day 0 video. So this is what I've been doing the last couple of days. Uploading and uploading and uploading and uploading.
74, baby. So I make this 80. Got Dead Man's Hand.
I am, as of December 27th this year, moving to LA, California. And we got 2 of the bags. Still waiting for one more somewhere. Got through customs. Customs was no problem. Usually there's like a lot more questions. And it's like, wait a minute, what do you do for a living? Place a torch if you crave the void.
Oh my god, what have I done? When white people dance, I cringe. I mean, do you really cringe at this though? Stockholm to me has always been a beautiful city, but it's actually in the later parts of my life that I've actually really truly appreciated the beauty of Stockholm. It's such a quaint city with Old Town, the castle, the water. It's a very, very beautiful scene, and that's actually something when I moved to San Diego for 6 months, everybody kept talking, oh, you're from Sweden, you're from Stockholm, it's so beautiful. But I didn't quite understand, yeah, but I mean, this is San Diego, come on. But then when I moved back, I found a new love for Stockholm and how beautiful it is, especially during summertime. My name is Kumlin, also known as Orb, and I'm a streamer and have been, or I guess content creator / streamer, and have been for, I think, 7 or 8 years. So I've been doing this gig for quite some time, which kind of makes me old in a way. Kind of makes me like the grandpa of the scene, which I don't know if I like that, but it's the way it is. So I was born and raised in Stockholm. I was actually born in Huddinge, which is a smaller suburb of Stockholm, and I lived there until I was, I believe, 15 or 16. So a lot of childhood memories from there. Then in high school, my parents separated. So obviously they moved to different places. And that way I moved over to Farsta, lived there for a couple of years. And then I moved out on my own. Whenever parents separate, I don't think it's ever an easy time for anybody. I think it comes with a lot of, negative emotions and so forth. But I think overall, I was happy that, clearly they weren't happy together. And I think at that time I felt kind of grown up, and I think my sisters kind of joked a lot with my brother and I about the fact that we were kind of grown up for our age. Even at 15, 16, we were having pretty deep talks with them. In a way, I kind of realized that I think it's best for both of them to kind of go their separate ways, because ultimately I want them to be happy. But I think I took it pretty well. I don't really know what I should compare it to, so maybe it's hard for me to be like, But I've heard stories of people having maybe a little bit of a tougher time. But I think just getting to that realization that, I want them to be happy, even though it's kind of sucks for me, ultimately was the best thing. So my interest in gaming started like many other people at a really, really young age. Me and my brother went head to head on GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. We did Perfect Dark, and the 2-player split screen, 4-player split screen, and you went head to head, and that's kind of where the competitive, how brothers are, or siblings in general, you want to kind of beat them. In a nice way, of course. But it started with, the consoles, Nintendo 8-bit, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. Then it transitioned into PC. Now, when I got into PC, I started playing Counter-Strike. That was Counter-Strike 1.5, 1.6. And that's when I really started to feel the need to be the best, or be as good. Well, actually, at the time, it was, I want to be the best Counter-Strike gamer out there. So I started playing more competitively. That led to me getting up to kind of a semi-professional level. I started playing with and against a bunch of semi-professionals. But in the end, it didn't actually lead to a pro team or to anything. And when you're spending 12, 16 hours a day only playing Counter-Strike to try to get better, eventually you kind of feel a little empty. I'm just really, really tired today. So Mihaly, you go directly left outside Squeaky, watch main. Okay. Not. Hey, I got a triple. The fuck? Is that bot? Yeah, bot. So that, obviously, we fast forward a couple of years. I say, okay, I'm kind of done wanting to be the best in Counter-Strike. What other games are out there? I started getting into Call of Duty. Call of Duty 4 was my first game. I played on this dedicated server with just a bunch of online friends, and they used to think that I was really good at sniping. So they were like, why don't you start uploading videos on YouTube? So then I was like, all right, so YouTube is a thing. Who is on YouTube? Who's doing good stuff? Taves is obviously one of the most famous Swedish YouTubers and streamers and content creators out there. Started looking at his stuff. But that kind of made me think that, okay, so you can actually make it as a Swede in something that's mainly predominantly run by Americans. So I got into YouTube, started doing that, and it kind of went better and better, and I started growing my channel, and I obviously built it all around Call of Duty. I changed my name from just Orb to Incredible Orb just to attract traffic. You know, when you hear the name Incredible Orb, if you're not familiar with me, you're gonna go, wait a minute. Is this guy really incredible? We're gonna check him out, and hopefully they're gonna think that, I'm good enough. But, the same competitiveness carried over into Call of Duty. I wanted to be known as the best, not necessarily in a competitive stance, but when you look at my gameplay, it should be top tier. I did that for many, many years, and eventually I realized that there's more to life than just trying to be the best. Because if you want to be the best, you have to play constantly. It's the same that goes back to Counter-Strike. You want to put in 12, 16-hour days just to practice. Because if you don't practice, there's somebody that's 14, 15 that's going to have all the time, all the talent, and it's going to surpass you. Then I went over into more entertainment and kind of focusing more on variety. So I've been streaming now for 7 or 8 years, so I can definitely be considered kind of one of the older in the pack. I mean, content creation and I've been streaming since Justin TV became Twitch TV. So that is a long time ago, definitely. I want to say the first 4 years were mainly predominantly Call of Duty, and it's all about being the best, and I was doing these crazy challenges that nobody else did, or there was one other guy, TBNR Frags, and we went head to head. It was actually kind of cool how, now looking back at it, we had this rivalry of like, so Moabs is a thing in the game, as kill streak you could get, so he would get 100 of those, and then I would get 101 in one stream, and then he would get 200 in one stream, and I would get 201. And it would be like this constant rivalry, which at the time was putting a lot of pressure on me. But now looking back at it, that's exactly kind of what you need. You want that sort of rivalry, that sort of, kind of the two communities, his community, my community, kind of going at it a little bit. So yeah, for the first 3-4 years, mainly Call of Duty. So the decision to go into variety streaming over Call of Duty is not something that I just like one day kind of like, man, now I want to do other things. I've been feeling that for a while. The thing about it is, once again, kind of going back to the whole Counter-Strike thing and trying to be the best at something, is that eventually at least for me, I tired out, I burnt out. When all I'm known for is dropping Moabs and getting these crazy challenges. I was doing ridiculous challenges that nobody's ever heard of, like a knife-only Moab. Like that at a time nobody would even try that. So it went from, you kind of have to up your game the entire time. And it's like when you're already at the top, how do you constantly try to, refresh what you're doing? How do you constantly up what you're doing? There's this constant buzz around the content that you do. Why would you want to give that away? Because I'm not happy. It's such a basic thing, and I know it sounds stupid to the people looking in, because they're like, you play video games for a living, just play the video games. I wanted something more, so it just came from a very basic mindset of, I want to be happy, and I'm not happy doing the same thing over and over. Watch this. They call it the God Nade. Watch out. Oh. Watch this.
Cloud. All fish pit. There's an AK.
Oh no, yeah, remember to press it. What? Oh, remember to press it. Oh my god, I almost forgot to press it again. Timmy. Oh Timmy, I almost forgot to press it, Timmy. Oh my god, I almost forgot to press it again. Oh my god, it's fine.
Oh guys.
Oh. Drive. You have now spit hot liquid.
Can you feel me? Ooh, can you feel me?
ZEN8 contacted me in August of 2018, and they kind of approached me and said, we have this brand new opportunity available. We're gonna put you and a bunch of other streamers together, create cool content, and kind of promote what you guys are doing and kind of get to kind of document your ride through streaming and content creation overall. And I was always very keen on this idea. I think the first meeting we had, as soon as they started kind of throwing ideas at me, I started kind of throwing ideas back and like how to, in the best way, grow or to start this and who to bring on board, and kind of being a part of that process too was very, very fun. But I think what it comes down to is I want to be able to do stuff that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. That comes with, more high production stuff like the stuff we're doing right now. We're going to go to events. We've gone to DreamHack Stockholm. We've gone to DreamHack Master Stockholm and DreamHack Jönköping. So just going there, being able to record content with them, being on camera, practicing, hosting in a way, that for me was very giving. And it also comes down to having people to talk about this business with. I know a lot of people in the business, but many people, including myself, is very kind of focused on what they're doing. And it can be a very, very lonely profession. So having other people to talk to and kind of grow with and obviously create content with is very, very fun and giving. As a final takeaway, something that I always look back on is community. My community has supported me through thick and thin. There's been people that have been here and been a part of this journey for the entire duration, for the entire time. There's been people that have supported me no matter what game I play, and been like, we want to support Orb in doing what he does. So I would never be here without my community. I would never be a sane human being, a happy human being without my community. And I owe a great deal to them and everything they've done for me. And I want them to know that.
What you gonna say? What you gonna do when I